Yart. Alright, I'm very excited for this album. I've been putting off listening to this album because I wanted to react to it. Uzi isn't typically someone who I'm like falling head over heels to listen to. Uzi, especially as of late, be it I Just Want to Rock, Put Stall Shuffle, Eternal Take, all that hype that kind of came up from Eternal Take kind of has left me with a unsatisfied hype build up for an Uzi album. Everything that he's doing to release this project, the rollout, the music, the energy that he's on is, I think, ideal for Uzi and unique for hip-hop. I think Uzi is the perfect person to bring that figurehead forward. This is all just super clean. His videos, all that shit, mad clean. The whole like fashion style, the hair, fucking all of it. The old, I'll throw the cover photo up. The old cover photo, fucking heat, bro. And not to say that the new one's bad, but I'd imagine that's just the deluxe cover. That's just max. And I hear that he's dropping a whole other album for the deluxe. Now, I will say at like 26 songs, I'm not expecting every single song to hit like that, but I'm hearing a lot of really positive reviews about this thing too. I'm not someone who typically is like, oh my god, Uzi dropped, let me listen to every single, like, honestly, I don't know that I can tell you an Uzi album that I've like fucked with so heavy front to back. Got all the Akira shit. I love how much Uzi actually knows about anime and Japanese culture, because it literally does show in what he's doing. And it's funny because, like, again, Wu-Tang started all that shit, so realistically it's like a natural progression of what's already existed in hip-hop. Uzi is about to be like a superstar. I feel like if this project really is that for him, action movies, all that shit, bro, that's what he's clearly trying to play for. That shit's hard, bro. And you can see that's why Nardwuar fucks with him so heavy too. Uzi's done a lot for Nardwuar in a way. But this is punk, you know what I mean? Like, everything that he's doing is very punk right here, while still being hip-hop, while still being like almost grunge. You know, he's got like a really interesting mix of style, aesthetic, and music that not a lot of artists get or have, right? The fucking split to going up is so fucking Scott Pilgrim. That's just so funny. Like the collar pop. But yeah, no, this shit looks so hard, yo. Whoa, with the ad-libs. I'm going to react to the album while playing Truck Simulator, so at least there's something else to be paying attention to. Like, I'm in such a drought musically as far as like consuming shit that like I don't even know that there's someone else that can garner my attention right now like Uzi. I hope it's not too long at 26 songs.
Wake up. Uzi, not again. You're never gonna change.
Yeah, first of all, I fuck 8 bitches a day. How could you ever say Lil Uzi gay? Fuck 4 of them raw, fuck 4 of them say think I'm splitting the offer for you to debate. Don't want no pussy money. Flooded the face, mad at the roof. Got a new house, unlimited space. It was just hard, now my life grew. Now that little girl gonna do what I said. Diamond like lake, water like sink. Pocket on. Diamond my rollie, diamond my paddock. This an AP in a hand automatic. Whipping that white in the kitchen, Bob Saget. Whipping it slowly, the whip it a little faster. I got the swag on fashionable bastard. Rock on
R.I.P. Bob.
You think you fly, but your swag.
Title was cool. Number 2, there were some bars. I'm not always listening to Uzi for the most life-shattering references or bars. Mostly listening to it for the vibe, right? So realistically, I think a pretty decent intro, a good tone setter, very low-key. Am I going to return to it all the time? Probably not. But it was still very good.
My right hand to God, I ain't never heard a Uzi Vert song that I can say that's Uzi Vert, but I know he a sissified looking nigga that put fingernail polish on his motherfucking nails and wear dresses. How you gonna talk about something, nigga?
That's just so, like, what is it, fucking 1980, brother? Like, why is that your take? It's such a fucking old head take.
You little Uzi Vert.
Who cares? Why does somebody else fucking wear it affect you, brother? You know?
I don't know. I don't know. What I do anything I please. I feel like bitch, I'm the crow. Whoa. I feel like bitch, I'm the crow. I'm the I get 500,000 in shoes.
What the fuck? With the whistle, I was about to say, this is very like Yeet in a way. Uzi's just better at it, and honestly, Yeet sounds like Uzi more than Uzi sounds like Yeet.
Got a new bitch, but she don't sell my old slut. I don't like a natural bitch, I like fake butts. I ain't saying this, but they say I'm so let's do it. Wait a minute, get bitch don't speak English, but so fluent. Fuck two Spanish bitches next to each other, they crook growing.
That shit was heat. I love the sample in the front and the back half. I forget who he's sampling, but fucking fire. Delivery, the fucking instrumentation for sure. But the delivery, the energy, like this is perfect Uzi in my opinion. This is like core Uzi. It's still rage, it's still grunge. People will probably say it sounds like Yeet, something, or like even trippy, you know. But like this is something that, in my opinion, Uzi is better at, I don't want to say marketing himself for, but like is just more aware of what he's influencing or influenced by when making that music, you know. It's really, it's like in a way it feels like modern My Chemical Romance, right? Like this kind of like dark rock. Very, very interesting. I'm excited to keep going. I think the next song has Travis Scott. I'm not like the biggest Travis Scott head on the planet. I saw him live at the Kendrick Lamar Damn Tour, Brooklyn, so that was cool. Didn't even intend to see him live. He just opened, but obviously not cool with Astroworld. And honestly, Return to Astroworld did not really age too fantastic, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah. You ever like on the highway and like afraid to pass a truck? I'm that truck driver.
Yeah, whoa, yeah, yeah.
Wow, okay. That's A. Quite frankly, I like missed the Travis Scott feature. I like, I'm gonna listen to it again just to ensure that I heard it. But that shit was so forgettable from Travis Scott. Hook from Uzi was okay. I feel like the beat was cool with the hook. But ultimately, just like when you're freestyling that slow, you need to be saying something of a little bit more substance, not even necessarily substance of character, but like substance of entertainment. Like I get what you were trying to do, but it just wasn't the one for me. I'm gonna listen to see if I hear that Travis Scott verse. It was an okay Travis feature. I don't want to say I like missed it because it was completely uneventful. I would say it was an upper class Travis Scott feature. Again, I've not really been one for Travis to begin with, unfortunately. So my least favorite song so far, first two, still have me excited, but I want another Just Wanna Rock, you know what I mean? It doesn't need to be like that simply written, but like he needs another fucking banger on here if there's gonna be this many songs. The layering two different melodies in the hooks is what does it for me, yo. So I don't mean to pause it. The fact that like he could be something like crush, really simple, and most people would just do that and nothing else. But like he adds like melody behind it. It just keeps such active listening, man. It's really smart. You know what I mean? That's like unique. He's like playing to both of his strengths at once. That's like, you're looking to perform this album, right? He's a showman, right? He's a dancer. He's someone who's born to perform, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. These are perfect performance songs, you know, like even the one that I didn't like, the Travis songs, Travis Scott. It's like exactly what he should be doing. Whoa, that's just so hard. So I just want to give my final thoughts. Crush was cool. I ain't gonna hate Crush. The time that it cut off, I feel like it didn't overstay its welcome. I'm not like blown away by Crush 'em, but like that's more of that, please. Uzi, you're doing a great job. This shit too, more of this, please. Because the beat is insane. All this like instrumentation is awesome. The 2017 SoundCloud in its purest. But like perfected, you know what I mean? Not in a bad way. The engineering on that song was absolutely phenomenal. I just want to say that first. And the production, I don't know if the guitar is live or if it's sampled, but fucking hard. I feel like you could tell that Uzi's freestyling a lot of this project, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just by turn, he's gonna repeat himself a little bit, or it's not always gonna hit on a level that feels super thought out. But again, I think he's more looking to perform these than anything else anyway. I don't think he necessarily cares how they come off. I think it's fine at the end of the day. I don't know that I'm going to return to that one as much as others. I feel about similar to that one as I did Suicide Doors even. Really every song thus far except for A is kind of like that lower tier. All these are like good. I'm hoping for like, I feel like I Just Want to Rock is like somewhere between great and perfect. I'm hoping for like more really, really good and more great. I'm assuming it'll come. I don't want to be too impatient. Long project. The engineering on that, great. The production on that, great. Production's been phenomenal thus far. This is sick too. But
Heard
that Billy Ray. Him and Miley Cyrus dating. Shout out to JK.
I just had a seizure from that top, she made me shake. This shit way too.
It is going hard. He's confident, man. If nothing else, he feels secure, and he's like been around now for a while. I feel like you can't deny Uzi at this point. This beat, the production is going so crazy. I don't know if one person did production or if a bunch of people did production, but it goes so hard so far. It is some of the best production I've heard in a while. Times 2 is honestly probably one of my more preferred ones. I don't really like how it's structured with that like big break in the middle. I feel like if I'm trying to repeat this over and over, or like put it in a playlist, it's a little strange only because of structure. Almost 4 minutes, so like to add that little break is really only for performing, I feel like, not necessarily for multi-purpose. I would say this is all good thus far. There's one okay, which to me is the Travis Scott song. Otherwise, I'm almost crashing. Otherwise, it's all like good, or again, I've heard I Just Want to Rock, so I guess really good, right? I want more really good.
Even see my Canadian boo. I'm never faking, I dress like a Asian. Don't care what they say, I'm making it through. Ice on my neck, brought my mama a new home. My wrist presidential, you ain't never seen me with a two-tone. My crib residential.
I dress like a Asian is insane. Okay. I'm glad that was from what it seemed like. I'm glad from what that seemed like it was a shorter song. I was trying to pull up the lyrics, that's why I crashed and hit multiple vehicles there. 3 minutes is funny that this is the shorter end of songs, that it was on the shorter end of songs. I think this is probably my least favorite over the Travis Scott song. I would say this is the one that's just kind of like mid to me. Uzi, when he kind of goes da 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 da, or like just something like too simple, it kind of just exposes the writing, in my opinion. So like when you get hit with things like I be with Bloods and they all say Sue Woo, but it like takes up a whole line. When you slow it down like that, it's just like, again, when you just slow it down like that, it just kind of exposes some of the more, I don't even want to call it corny, because he's trying, especially with like, he's trying to do something unique, but it's like Uzi personally seems like a very, very cool guy. Maybe a little detached from humanity at this point with how much of a star he's becoming, but beyond that, he really just seems like a genuine person, and I do think his vibe, aesthetic, performances, everything that he's doing is made to be done in the way that he's doing it.
Spinning just like I am a ceiling fan. I got too much wet.
See, sometimes it works. The ceiling fan bar was fine the way he did it. It's all on performance. They think you're gay just because you have fashion choices that are non-conservative and you're so large, and unfortunately different than most people, that they're just gonna accuse you. It's not even like an accusation, because it's like it's not like a bad thing. So we'll get to that one in a second. That's crazy. I have something to say about that. Spin Again was cool. I did like Spin Again. Definitely the length of song that I'd want from Uzi. Obviously, if like you're performing this, you're not going to want every song to be a minute and 38 seconds. But I think if you're going to freeform it like the way that he did, that's the way to do it. It literally sounds so much like Jaleel. It's crazy. What the hell? Like, I was not expecting that going into this. I've worked with Jaleel, that's why I say this. That sounds so much like Jaleel. I bet he knows who Jaleel is. Jaleel's not small at this point. That really legitimizes Jaleel's sound, in my opinion. But that hook is very Jaleel. But he did it himself, which is so high. Right, his ability to go back and forth to both of these, though, is unique. That's a yank and twist. That's not a yank. Even when he says jump off, sounds like Jaleel in a way. But this is so hard. This is probably my favorite one so far. I don't know. I mean, as long as Jaleel is cool with that, I'm cool with that. They hit me with the out of fuel, fucking a block away from the fucking. I could see the gas station. That shit sucks.
I got a ridiculous whip. I got a ridiculous wrist. I got a ridiculous bitch. My house say sit because I'm rich. No, it's no way. Bar like this. I shoot my shot. Shit gon' switch. Don't care about no thought. Ain't missing no bitch. Niggas they funny, ridiculous. I got a ridiculous. Oh yeah, by the way, I went diamond.
Oh, dude. So he talked about going diamond over and over in a song. And then went diamond, actually. Very cool. You know, I thought that one was okay. I mean, you know how it's basically the same critiques that I had about the other songs, and that when he's a little bit slower like that, I find myself maybe a little bit less likened to it. I want to be very clear that I have like no production gripes and I have no engineering gripes thus far. Like, the team behind this is really thinking about it. And the presentation is fantastic. It's just every once in a while, like, either it hits or it doesn't hit, and you can't really help that either. This is the one with Niki, right? I think this is the most popular one so far. Oh, but this is the Barbie sample too? There's so much Barbie sample shit happening. Oh no, dude, Niki, what'd you do? Why'd you come out as a MAGA head on a Barbie sample Uzi track? Just this bar would have been fine. That would have been kinda clever, honestly. It's when she fucking cornily wrote after this. That you blew it.
Hey yo, even if my name was Natalie Nunny, bitches still couldn't chin check me. That's Spirit to Chanel, they ain't nothing to see. Bitches on TV channeling me. Have a drink with Barbie, Roman's old landscape. I put on Nike earrings and Fendi. Then stamp the trench coat Burberry. With a COMPETITION, don't see any. Sitting under stars in the city lights.
Like, I'm staring at it, right? Like, that's why I'm saying it. I'm like, I have the lyrics up. I'm so stunned by this song that I've stopped driving. I hope you know. She's referencing, like, her side personas and that she's doing a new persona, yada, yada, yada. But, like, TV channel in me. I guess the Natalie Nunn is kind of funny. Like, I'm like really, because like she's, in my opinion, one of the most influential female rappers of all time, if not the, right? So like, I'm really trying to hear her out. I hope you understand. Like, I'm trying my hardest to give benefit of the doubt here, like my absolute darndest. I'll let it keep riding because I can't stay on it forever. But like, man.
Baby daddy tell me I got pretty eyes. Checking with that bird down when I'm in high. My niggas are blue like Virgil. I got that duffel. Everything we do, you motherfuckers do it too.
The back half of that was better. I'm still with Uzi, but like she had to follow the same melody that Uzi's copying, but like Uzi's doing better in my opinion. Checking with Dapper Dan when I'm in Harlem, Blow Like Virgil's Eye. Yeah, like at least you're shouting Virgil out. I'm not gonna, I'm an outsider looking in there. I can't say anything more. In the Field with Karl Lager's Heaven campaign, I understand like the Marc Jacobs line and shit. It's just, it was okay. How'd you throw that in the hook? I'm glad they literally took her out of the hook the last time to be like, yeah, you guys like it without it? Yeah, I hope. She really, I mean, she's been doing a lot of features. I wouldn't be shocked if she just didn't have a fantastic one all of a sudden. I'm like, I've like put myself in the worst driving position because this song is stunning to me. Uzi killed that. Uzi murdered that. I did not like the Niki feature, unfortunately. Again, I think she's one of the most influential rappers, period. Not just female rappers, but probably the most influential female rapper. And it's a little unfortunate to, again, just the Republican Doctor Bar, kind of fire. I would have even seceded to that. But to lean so heavy in, especially considering current circumstances, so dumb. I like, to me, that directly comes from like the Hasanabi Tucker Carlson beef, which is interesting that she even mentioned him, but like in a non-direct way. Dog, like no matter what your position is on that, it's like I would like. There's no way Tucker and Trump have your best interest. I'm sorry, Nicki Minaj. Like I hate to tell it to you, especially as a woman. I feel like both of them are really looking forward to you having less rights. Not even bringing anything else into the factor. Lots of samples on this, huh? But you gotta clear those. That's why it's awesome.
Put the bag in the mail and we sell it. And I know it's some niggas be telling. Not no snitch, so I can't even tell them.
This is dope so far, honestly. This is different than everything else that was on it. The whistles are so yeet, but it's alright. Again, Uzi's been around longer to sample, or not sampled, but like to borrow from people like Jaleel and Yeet solidifies them. You know, he's got a bigger, wider audience. Drake's been taking sounds for generations. But that was cool. I think that's also one of my favorite records so far. I mean, it's a little bit longer, but he did do enough, or at least the engineer and production did enough to keep me interested. The hook I could see getting repetitive, but otherwise I feel like quite good. This is very cool though. This is very rage thus far. I like when, like, if he's gonna write the way that he writes, this is the way that he should be performing. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm so excited for like the guitar heavy shit because it's like the rock rap, or really rock trap, but like rock hip hop like genre collaboration that's like been waiting and needing to happen since like people were obsessing over Mario Judah, which where is Mario Judah? At 3 minutes 43 I feel like it's a little long, but otherwise like definitely like again one of the good songs. This sounds like Samad almost. It's funny. This is the best song so far, never mind. 3 minutes though, so we'll see how long he gets it. Hopefully this production's transformative, but this is heat so far. Transformity on all this shit, like, he sounds like a completely different artist sometimes. I feel like Nakamura is my favorite one thus far. The reference is cool, I fuck with wrestling. I'm not like the most avid watcher, but seems alright. I mean, it didn't feel like 3 minutes because the way that it was structured. I feel like it at least kept me active listening. even though the writing wasn't substantially different, the production, everything else was there. So I feel like I can't be like, oh, this was atrocious. Actually, I feel like it's one of my highlights thus far. All right, so obviously next is I Just Wanna Rock, which I've obviously heard before. I'm playing the music video, and I'm gonna play it through just because I want to hear it. It's been a little bit.
I just wanna rock. Body out of ya.
This is the moment I get copyright claim right here. Me as soon as I get the copyright claim right here. Ready? Here it is.
Damn.
Me when this video gets blocked in all countries. I can't, there's got to be a term that encompasses Jersey and Baltimore at the same time, because it technically does, I feel like, come from both ends of those spectrums. It's hard to trace sound. I'm sure the drum pattern itself comes from not either of these places and somewhere in Africa, realistically. But as a Jersey head, I think I don't want Jersey to be known for it, but it'd be nice if they got the credit. Shout out to Kai, too. I don't know if I'm going to play the music video or if I'm just going to put the audio thing up because of copyright claims. But Kai obviously deserves the fuck out of this shit, too. And that was very smart of Uzi. He's got his thumb on the pulse, like I would say, more than other artists. Like the fact that he does like an interview with XQC, and the fact that he collabs with Kai here on like a very big video is smart and interesting. You don't see other people doing that, but it's the way to do it. Oh, this is so hard. What the fuck? Okay, sorry. I just wanted to give my thoughts on I Just Wanna Rock. I think that's the best song on this record still. The length of the song, the energy of the song, the production of the song, it is easily the most repeatable, the most listenable, the most put together. You know what I mean? It's like the perfect song for this album, in my opinion. That's Fouché, right? Oh my god, another sample. But like, he's really, like, that's Club, yo, his samples, but he's doing it, yo. This is like emo Club.
I ain't even touch her, she come for me. Taking these perks, she know for me. Fuck all her friends when she run from me. I just want you to go crazy when the beat drops. Taking these perks, she know for me. Fuck all her friends, she run from me. Whoa!
It's just so hard, yo. What the fuck? And also, like, the pitching on his voice is fucking smart, too, because it does make me interested in the next thing. This also, by the way, doesn't feel like 16 tracks into an album. He's carrying the fuck out of this. Fucking Fire Alarm is probably also in my bunch of favorite songs. I'm trying to, like, decide where they all land in me, but it is really good. It's super unique. I don't know how often it's like a very specific itch for me to scratch that song, or even like a mosh, I guess, song. But either way, it's like it's super unique, super good. So regardless, I'm very impressed by that. All right, I want to listen to the next song. So see us. I'm surprised I'm gonna get fucking copyright struck at the wazoo for these probably. I wish it wasn't so on the nose. But I obviously understand that that's what he's doing. To get the rights to this is Lil Uzi's awesome. Like if you got System of a Down to do the instrumentation and play the guitar and everything too, awesome. Obviously, again, when you're doing club, emo stuff, you're gonna hear samples and shit. I think he's been doing a lot of samples on this tape, as long as you're cool with that. I think it's very cool. I think he's doing them a lot of justice thus far, especially the engineers and the producers. I will say part of what adds to the original for me is the light feeling that you get out of that bridge. The why don't you trust in me? Like that being as high tone as the lead singer of System of a Down gets. is kind of what adds to that for me, because it's the juxtapositions. But Uzi really did nail it. Otherwise, I think that was a really big moment, not just for him, but generally speaking. And like, I think that's a big moment. Like, they don't let those rights go to anybody, especially to just copy it outright. But I'm sure it's good for the song too. I'm excited to continue. Here's Werewolf. Oh, Bring the Horizon. Okay. Who he's working with, I think, is very interesting. Like, he clearly knows what the fuck he's talking about. He also, like, he just performed in New York and Paramore brought him out, you know? So, like, he's getting love in the right places. If this is what he's trying to do. This is very genre bending for Uzi, man. I think it is a complete, like, genre flip, if you ask me. 2017 SoundCloud rap, or even trap for that matter, to emo club or just straight like emo. It's really interesting. Lead singer Bring Me the Horizon there, I believe, Ali. I feel like I don't want to say overstayed a welcome because he did a great job, but it's just maybe came in one too many times. Like, I heard the bridge one too many times at how simple it was. But otherwise, very, very cool. And I think Uzi did a fantastic job. I think production's incredible. Again, this is all live production, obviously, other than the sampling and stuff. I not only wouldn't be shocked, but it's really, really well done for us. For someone like Uzi, this is incredibly surprising. I mean, not surprising, right? Because again, it's where he's been leaning for a long time, but it's like really, really cool. One thing I'll say about Uzi is he definitely like has a very positive message throughout a lot of his music. I think it's interesting. I've been very closely paying attention to what he's saying, and like, while it might be simple sometimes, it's not spreading any type of hate. Sometimes it's even just about being simply about like, why are you shitting on me being dressed effeminately, which is a great talking point nowadays for conservatism against again, just like generally like talking about how he's like with his wife and she's just like how they're just like chilling. You know what I mean? He's not talking about like doing anything nuts. He's just like, yeah, bro, I got a wife and that's great. You know, like, I don't know how else to put it. It's very refreshing in a way to hear like someone like him in like a stable place. Yeah, I think that was a very cool song. Again, it is a little slower, but I feel like of those slower songs, this one carried a little bit better, weirdly enough. I'm not gonna like lump it in with the ones that I didn't like, but it's like, it's not mid, it's like decent. His ability to do multiple things at once is literally what I always talk about from wanting from artists. And the good thing is he's like doing it well, you know. He's not just doing it and having it like not carry like when Kid Cudi tried to make rock, or like when Logic even, you know. Don Tolliver murdering this too. I never used to like Don Tolliver that much, but really since 2020 I feel like he's improved so drastically. And really through features is how I've like come to turn on how I felt about him initially. Now they did say to take the time, but I will say it does feel as though it's dragging a bit. I understand you're not trying to worry about it, but it does make it not the most returnable song, makes it more of an itch scratch. But still, they're doing a good job. Another 4-minute song after this too. Dude, he's trying to be like, dude, nah, I can carry 5 minutes every time. And it's not that he can't, it's just that he can sometimes. Last 6 though, home stretch. We're 20 deep, so you gotta expect some of those. There's another 4-minute one though. I hope the beat's more transformative on a 4-minute song, you know? So we'll see how this one goes.
If you was me, you would be weird too. I hang with killers and like this. I'm from the gritty while I walk like this. I made a million, then I taught my bitch. I know it's a couple niggas that stalk my bitch, but I would too if that was not my chick. I don't know why I am so lost. Like I got brain damage every time I think about the bag. I got brain damage, but they overlook 'cause I got cash. Every time I get a check, everybody just got their hand out. But when I was broke, nobody really had their hand out. Days come and go, but my love gon' stay.
I feel that one. I have 5 concussions.
Oh, you buy that, you buy that, you know, medications, then reply back to AC.
Awesome.
We played back and rock all night, only made 80. Got his personal number, but I never called Jay-Z. Every got a closet, big as a vestibule. I'm next year, I ain't done, hold on, no, I ain't done. Put me in a crazy home, would've rather been 23-1. And I don't wanna say they fucked me over, but I went down to 5th place. Had to climb my way back up just to be that one girl. I gotta remain the same. Days come and go.
Second verse is a little bit weird, but cool still. He picked it back up. That's just so hard.
I went through so many experiences in my life.
I bet you did, Uzi. You got another 4 minutes for me?
You said take your time, stop watching time. Going through withdrawals, you saw the signs. I was
that wasn't ideal. I got fully jumped at those. Yes, sir.
Rehab centers don't even got no crash relations.
Water, I thought that was a road.
Follow your own road, fuck the basics. When nighttime would come, couldn't wait until the day shift.
Strength doesn't do it.
Forget my rent.
What?
Measure right. I came in with 50K. I left out with 50K.
Pretty much.
No money in this place.
Yeah, it's exactly
Felt like
true.
a whole week in just one day.
Yeah, you know, honestly, again, even though it was another 4-minute song, also like very good. I was expecting. I don't want to say much worse, because it's not necessarily what it was. It's just more. I was expecting him not to be able to carry 4 minutes as well as he does. The production is obviously helping quite a bit. It's some of the most experimental but still interesting production out of a mainstream artist I've heard in a little while. I'm gonna have to get Toad out of here. I'm not gonna make you guys listen to me back up forever while I say this. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with this whole experience. And all things considered, I was expecting it to be worse than this is. I'm coming out of this like very blown away. We got 4 left. Moving on to the end, but not the end. Oh! This is awesome. Ooh! What the fuck? This is awesome. What a genre fucking flip. What the hell? Who would have thought? Like, who would have thought, like, dance hall almost would go with this? But it really did. This is like 3 genres at once. That's just crazy. That's just so crazy. See, like, I would have never said this about an Uzi song, but now I'm going like 3 minutes is too short because I hear everything else for 4 minutes and then he does this for like 3. Maybe everything else should be shorter. Who knows? Ooh.
No, I will not answer. Please do not to call my phone. Mr. Do not answer phone. Please don't leave me alone. Double cup is.
This is a sick too. He's just gonna drop a whole nother album. It's insane. This is very good.
No, I wouldn't do this if it wasn't true. Oh, I'ma get it, run it up.
He's probably trying to get it out of an album contract.
What you thought I wasn't gonna get comfortable.
Oh, I got out of there. Let's
I
go.
wouldn't do this if it wasn't true.
10 hours to go and I need sleep apparently. Zoom is low-key one of my favorite songs. It came up late. So it's like not registering, but that was very good. Production is so sick. That oh, I fucking hit a cop. That sucks.
I've been wearing Rick. Boy, you way too Ricky late. You Ricky late, gon' find China.
This is the last one. That last one was cool. Definitely more low key. I'm very excited for this last one. I'm more into the aggressive Uzi than I am the light Uzi. I'm trying to. So of course was cool. Not in my favorite bunch. Not in my least favorite bunch. I feel like that's another decent one.
I ain't take no shower, bitch. I shower indoor. She saw my dick and I just come down her
Damn, I got an avoid sleeping violation. Fucking no rest for the wicked.
Her hair so good, she made me toe on my toes. I curl my toes.
Snap. I can't believe that's the album. That's just kind of crazy. Yeah, Shardai was good. I would say that's not in my favorite bunch, but it was a good ender and it was a good song. At 26 songs, I really didn't think that this was going to carry at all. I'm incredibly shocked. I'm incredibly impressed by what Uzi did here. I think his spread of multiple genres, first off, I just want to praise the production through the entire thing and the engineering through the entire thing. I mean, there are some downsides. I think like A was a bit of a downside. I mean, if you're against samples and sampling, I think maybe that's a downside for you in general for this whole tape. To me, I just wish it wasn't as on the nose. Like his ability to do multiple things through this whole album in as short of a time span, and sometimes those long songs don't even feel like the trudges that they realistically could have been and that I was expecting them to be. So he seems light years more comfortable. He found this really interesting pocket that still caters to the 2017 SoundCloud era of music, of emo, grunge, club, rock, you know, and it's really quite a marvel of a situation to be able to see him come into his own like this. Prove me wrong, among probably many other people who maybe wouldn't have thought he'd have been around for as long as he has. He had hits, you know. He's always had a unique aesthetic. Again, I've always personally enjoyed what he's brought to the table. Again, throughout this whole record, even he's quite a progressive, positive thinking person who, quite frankly, just wants to make music and just wants to perform. And it's incredible that he gets the opportunity to do so. That Niki feature is garbage. Otherwise, very, very happy with this album front to back. Even the Travis Scott feature being as mid as it wasn't bad, it wasn't garbage. I might come back and change this score depending on how I review this and how it all sits and settles. Realistically, I'd be inclined to give this album like somewhere between a 8.7 and a 9 out of 10. This is a really, really good album with incredibly minimal lowlights that, again, just kind of come with a track list this long sometimes, and maybe with freestyling stuff, and just generally speaking, not everybody's going to love everything that you're doing if you're doing a bunch of different things, but the amount of things that he does comfortably on here that are different from one another are absolutely insane, and it was a very, very great listen, and I expect myself to return to a lot of these songs. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.